Okay, so hello, I'm Chris, and this is my what is the best way to take the paint off video. Now, if you're messing with the old car and you have panels that look like this, you need to get all the freaking paint off. There is no reason, you absolutely do not ever want to use anything on these old cars as a base. The only time you would ever use something like that was a base for your bodywork is if it's a factory original paint job and you can clearly see and that there is no rust starting to come through. Okay, if you have an old car and it has an original paint job, but let's pretend that these are little rusts and they're just everywhere randomly, you need to get all that paint off that car. Okay, so this is the rear filler panel, rear valance off the 72 Chevelle, and I saved this one. It was pretty screwed up, but we're going to go ahead and use it. Okay, so we're going to be using aircraft remover on this section, these type of hard wire wheels, whatever they are. And then we're going to be using DA and sanding discs, and then we're going to sandblast this one. Okay, now this video is for normal people, so there's nothing here that I'm using that's a special tool. The sandblaster just hooked up to I think a 40-gallon air compressor that goes about 150 psi, and I shoot it about 90 or 100. So it's just normal stuff. It's a siphon type too. Okay, so like I said, this video is for beginners, so I'm going to show you everything. Some people that don't know might think this would work. No, 100% pointless. Don't ever use grinding discs to take paint off. Now, these are very freaking dangerous. I have cut myself pretty bad with one of these. They're pretty freaking dangerous. I don't recommend using these if you're new. Now, the main thing you need to know about this is that you absolutely never ever want, it spins this way, to hit it like that, because it's going to try to jump out of your hands, and guess what, it's going to cut you. Well, you've seen it wasn't very effective, so that means this is some super freaking durable paint. I mainly use this for taking out old bondo and bodywork. Okay, same grinder. We're gonna put 36. These are awesome. You need to have one of these. Okay, so this works real good, real fast. The problem with this is it heats up. You do not ever want to use this on the top of a car, on a trunk, or on a hood. It heats up and you'll warp the freaking metal. It really will warp it. Okay, since we couldn't take the paint off with the wire wheel, we're gonna try to do it with a DA. Okay, so on DAs you can adjust your speed. Removing paint like this, you absolutely do not want to use this at all, but I'll just show it to you. Okay, so you see that DA, it works real freaking good at what it's supposed to do. It had gray primer and then it had a white paint job. Took it off real fast, kind of evens this out at the same time, kind of squaring and blocking. But in this situation where this stuff needs to come off anyway, it's pointless. But like I said, these are good for like late model cars with good paint jobs. Okay, now the paint remover, always shake it up and open it slow. If you're gonna use this, put safety glasses on and make sure you have a place you could wash your hands off, because this stuff will burn you if it gets on you. Open it slow. This stuff will get you freaking high, so well ventilated area. So when you start doing that, go ahead and scrape it. Right now it's summer in Texas, so this stuff can actually dry back up. Okay, I just wiped it off that. Using that paint remover, the water is going to neutralize it. But after you have to wash it off, you need to scrub it off with the bleach soap and make 100% that chemical residue is off of there, because it can react with your primer. See, if we wouldn't have took the paint off, we would never known that was there. And it would have crept up later, ruined our paint job. Okay, so I'm not sure. It almost looks like this panel was galvanized, or it had an etch primer on there. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So when you get Bondo out, you can hit it with this first. See, and that's whenever I'll use this. Okay, now I'm going to sandblast. I'm going to keep the camera away. See, sandblasting from scratch, there's too many layers of paint. You're just wasting your time, wasting electricity, and wasting sand. Okay, so you kind of get the idea. There's too much paint on here. I normally would remove the paint, wash it, and then finish sandblasting it. So you see how sandblasting is, but there's way too much paint on here, so it's costing us extra money for media, extra money for electricity to run the air compressor. So what I would do is to sand this down like that, and then we're gonna go sandblast the whole freaking thing now. Okay, well there you go. The whole thing sandblasted. Well, anyway, I got to get this thing in epoxy primer. All right, well, it's getting late. I'm going to put this in epoxy, make damn sure you wear a mask. As soon as you sandblast that thing, you gotta put it in epoxy primer, or at least some kind of primer. I did both sides. Well, there you go. If you liked the video, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.